Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain the questions from CCIE Lab 1.1. First, let us carefully consider the initial question presented. Actually, this very first item isn't truly a question in the traditional sense. Instead, it serves as a welcoming message, extending a warm welcome to us for this particular session. Therefore, the real and substantive first question that we need to address is in fact the second one on the list. The second question tells us to configure VLANs. When configuring VLANs, you need to make sure the VLAN configuration is done according to the tables provided below. Let's first look at the first site. The first site is the headquarters area, the HQ area, and then the second is a branch site. Each site involves 3 devices. Which 3 devices are they? For example, in the HQ area, there's an SW101, which is an access switch, right? This access switch has a link connected on both the left and right sides. Here we need to configure access interfaces, right? And what about the uplink? The uplink is a per channel link, which is an aggregated link. For aggregated links, we can't configure them in this table right now. We need to complete requirement 1.3 first, and then we can come back to configure 1.2. So in the HQ area, we can only configure this access switch for now. As for the 2 core switches in the middle, we don't need to worry about them yet. And then in the branch 3 area, which is branch site 3, there are 2 core switches here. The requirement is for us to configure this interface, and allow VLAN 2000 and 2001 only, right? And then there's also this interface on the core switch on the right. In addition, the 4 interfaces on this access switch, 00s and 0/1, these 2 are access interfaces, and these 2 are trunk interfaces, right? And for the trunk links, they all need to allow VLAN 2000 and 2001 to pass through. Then for the host, on the left, it connects through VLAN 2000. The data is sent up via the interface bound to VLAN 2000. For the host on the right, it connects through VLAN 2001. So that's all there is to requirement 1. It's just this simple. Let's take a look. What it's written here is that this requirement is 802.1Q, which is VLAN. And as for the tag, it means that on the trunk link, yes, it's a trunk. So the trunk link adds a tag, while on a regular access link, the access link, it doesn't add a tag. Right? This requirement is very simple. Just by looking at this table, you can understand it clearly. Let's go ahead and set this up. Alright, first for 101, those 2 access points are very simple. We don't need to look at the underlying configuration right now, regardless of whether there's a VLAN or not. Let's just create these 2 VLANs first. VLAN 2000, and 1, let's create them. After creating them, for the access interface 00s, change its mode to access mode, and then bind VLAN 2000 to it in access mode. Alright, that's it. Then use no shutdown. Whether or not the interface is already up, it's a good habit to enter no shutdown. There's no penalty for doing this. For interface 0/1, change its mode to access mode. Then bind the VLAN 2001 to it in access mode, and use no shutdown. That completes the configuration. Also, this uplink is this per channel link, which we can't configure yet. We'll have to come back and finish it after completing the next requirement. So for requirement 1, you just need to get to this step, and that's it. This area is done. After finishing this, we can move on and configure branch site 3. Let's set up the access configuration there first. For the access part, there are 4 interfaces. Then we create VLANs. Actually, in this requirement, 1 VLAN is missing. If you check the device when you're taking the exam, make sure to check there's 1 VLAN missing. This is the one I just created, so there's 1 less VLAN. Regardless of whether it's there or not, just go ahead and create it. Then VLAN 2001. I made a mistake when creating it. I accidentally entered an extra 0. Even if you don't create this VLAN, when you bind it to the VLAN, it will be created automatically. For the downstream interface, remember the 00s interface bind this interface to VLAN 2000. All right, no shutdown. Now let's focus on the 0/1 interface, which is a critical component for network connectivity and data transmission. This particular part is specifically bound to VLAN 2001, which is a virtual local area network. All right, now let's proceed to meticulously configure the uplink. We can work through the entire process of configuring this essential uplink connection together, step by step, to ensure everything is set up correctly and efficiently, right? Then, for this specific interface, which is crucial for our network connectivity, let's meticulously set it up and thoroughly configure it to establish a robust and reliable connection. What does trunk mode allow? It allows VLAN 1, the default VLAN, and then VLAN 2000 and 2001. That's it for the configuration. After configuring, we've set up both of these interfaces, right? After configuring, we can actually copy this setup, just copy and paste it, extract it first. For the G20 interface on the trunk link, we can also copy and paste this configuration. I'll copy it, and then on the downlink interface, G20 of the SW601 access switch, I'll paste it there. These 3 lines of configuration are now complete. Then I still have a 602 on the right? I can also paste it on this 602, not paste. Hold on a second. 602 won't open. Let me check what's going on. 602. Okay, it's open now. Oh, I pasted it in the wrong place. I pasted it in the wrong place. Just go directly into this interface, the interface section, and after entering, just paste it here and that's it. This way, the configuration is done. After finishing the configuration, we can check its status on this 601. Then we proceed to search for the specific VLAN configuration. We can see these 2 VLANs, VLAN 2000 and 2001. They are already bound. Look, VLAN 2000 is bound to the 00 interface, which is the interface on the left, and it's connected to host 61. Also, it's in an active state. Then VLAN 2002 is bound to the interface on the right, and it's also in an active state, right? Next, we can take a look at this trunk link home. I searched it wrong, this trunk link. The trunk link is already allowing VLAN 1, VLAN 2000, and VLAN 2001. In other words, when the data comes up from below 1, the data from host 61 comes up from here, will travel through this trunk link, pass through this aggregation switch, and then select an exit, select a gateway to exit through, right? And as for the data from the host on the right, it will go through this interface over here, right? Choose a gateway, and if this main link here gets cut off, I can take another route. Later on, our other requirements will also ask us to set up redundancy for situations like this. The same goes for the headquarters area. The data can travel this way as well, right? It can go this way. And if the upper path is down, I can also take this route. If this node fails, if something goes wrong with the node, then my data can exit this way too, right? It can also reach this data center. In fact, this setup is fully interconnected. Or you can also reach the data center from this side. So this is requirement 1. Requirement 1 is very simple, just configure regular VLAN, right? This is something we've already learned in CCNA. We'll talk about requirement 2 in the next lesson. And if anyone wants to learn Cisco technologies or get access to Cisco exam question banks, please send me a private message, or you can leave a comment below the video for technical discussions.